friends. Enjoying the pasture. Now up on the other side over here, there's actually, I don't know, I've probably counted in a field about what the size you just saw, the pasture here. Probably, I don't know, maybe four homes. I could say farm homes, I guess. Just like there's mostly cattle out here, cattle on that hill over there. But I'll tell you what, coming out of the trees, we've had 4 straight days of gloom, wet, and rain. Not 4 days straight of rain, but a couple of days straight rain, and then 4 days ago it was late in the afternoon when it hit us and we had to walk a few miles in the rain. But and then yesterday morning woke up with it raining. But I want to talk a little bit about today. Yeah. A little bit about the challenges that we face on the Appalachian Trail, hiking the Appalachian Trail. One is the rain, and I'm going to try to give you different views from time to time here. Looks like we got another house over here. Man, what a place to live. I could live here. I was just sitting up on top of this hill talking to Dynamite, saying I could sit here for an hour or more. Just sit, meditate. But anyhow, so yeah, rain on the Appalachian Trail. For those of you that are contemplating or going to hike the Appalachian Trail, make sure you're prepared for rain. And in your shakedown hikes, be sure that you take your gear out in the rain and test everything. Even if it's out in your backyard, I suggest you go somewhere else though. I mean, you don't want to give yourself a reason to go in the house. So you want to make sure that you go somewhere that you're stuck out in the rain and go hiking in the rain on purpose. This is really the only way you're going to get a feel of what it's going to be like. Now, there are many that run for shelters and run for hostels, hotels, whatever, when it's going to rain, and you just kind of hunker down. And if that's you, that's okay. No disrespect at all. And that's one thing I should say right up front is that anything I say is all based on my opinion and my experience, and others' experiences that I talk to and that I hike with. So I don't mean any disrespect towards anybody. This is, like I said, it's strictly my opinion and my experiences. Anyhow, we pulled up to a shelter, must have been 3 days ago, and it had been raining the day before, and it was raining then. You know, we needed to get it out of town, but we wanted to hike still, so we got to the shelter, and there was a few people there that had been there all day. They stayed the night before, and they're staying the night again because they didn't want to hike in the rain. Fair enough. If you don't want to hike in the rain, you don't want to hike in the rain. It's going to be a long journey on the Appalachian Trail if you do not hike in the rain. It is a challenge. Does it suck? Yes. Is it a great experience? Yes. It's a wonderful experience, especially if it's a warmer day. On the cold days, when the wind is blowing, that's when it sucks. But you can still find beauty in it if you so choose. Dynamite's, I don't know if you can see, you can kind of see Dynamite there waving. And then I don't know if you can see up on the hill, We got Honeybee and Quick Pitch, or Amazon, whatever we want to call him. Dynamite's friend came out and talked about challenges. His friend came out and he's never been backpacking before, and like 3 days, literally 3 days before he came out, he got all of his gear and he got it off of Amazon. Not everything ultralight, that's for sure. Yeah, he got everything off of Amazon, so it's kind of cool. And so that's kind of why the name Amazon has been thrown out there. But I gave him the name Quick Pitch because of the tent he has. He basically just has to pull a drawstring hard and the tent is completely pitched already. It's all one piece and it's laid on the ground within less than a minute. It's awesome. So I call him Quick Pitch. But anyhow, so we've had, we did stay at a hostel for my birthday, which was pretty awesome. But nevertheless, we still got out in the rain and clothing got wet, clothing went dry, and it's like you always want to make sure that you keep a dry set of clothes for sleeping. And so I was forced to actually put wet clothing on for the day to hike out in the rain some more and the wind and the cold. And now that's up to you if you want to bring 2 or 3 extra change of clothes. But at one time I did, but I sent stuff home because it's just I wasn't using it, wasn't necessary, of course. And then you need it for 1 or 2 days. You just power through it, you know, just struggle through it, embrace the suck of it, and look for the beauty in it. So in just managing your time right, and trying to hang your clothing off of your pack during the day when it is nice, like today. Today's a beautiful day. It did get down into the 30s last night, and it is what, May 15th, I think, May 14th, May 15th, and yeah, it got down in the 30s. So, but we're good. So there's one challenge on the trail. Another challenge is, I don't know, there's a bunch of little challenges here and there, but water has been a challenge from time to time. There are plenty of places that have water. It's just a matter of few and far in between. Now, I don't drink a lot of water. I don't require a lot of water, but there was a day that I was out and I needed some, and it was like a 12-mile span between water sources. There are other places to get water in those spans, but they're unreliable. Now, if it's raining, you can get water everywhere, right? And it's hard to find even so much as a puddle or a pond to get water out of. So management there is important as well. But you know, sometimes before a big climb, you don't want to be carrying 3 or 4 liters of water. So it's just a matter of knowing where the water sources are and managing that and making sure that you have enough water to get you to the next water supply. And if you're unsure where it's at, it's a good idea to go ahead and get water every time you cross a stream or a creek or something, if you're running low. We were forced one night, which actually turned out to be a good thing, but we were forced one night to hike, I think it was like an extra 5 miles just to find water, and we didn't get into camp until like 9:30 at night. But we put on 30 miles that day, so that was pretty awesome. Other challenge, obstacles. Obstacles are always a little bit of a challenge, but not that big of a deal. Steep inclines or declines with rock. I mean, the whole trail brings you some challenges. You got roots that hurt your feet when you walk on them. If you're constantly walking on roots all day, that really kind of sucks. Hey, lamb's ear. Just a second here. grab a leaf of that. So there's some lambs here, which is great. I just untied my shoelace. I don't know if I can keep the video rolling if you can see me while I'm doing this. I'll tie my lace. But yeah, we've been noticing some different edibles out here, and cooked up some burdock the other day for some of my Tranley. And now there's some lamb's ear here, which is good for a few different things. Oh, there's a struggle right there. There's a challenge right there. When you're kind of sore and you got to go down to the ground and get back up. Oh. So yeah, so the rocks and the roots going up or down depending on what's sore on your body, if it's your calves or if it's your feet. In my case, the only thing that really gets super sore on me anymore is my heels on my feet. And usually that hits, electric fence, don't touch. Yeah, my heels around 8, 9, well, I noticed it yesterday right around 9 to 10 miles. Oh, I love this. Look at this. Sorry. This old barn. We'll probably walk right by it. Maybe, I don't know. You probably get the sun on you. Going uphill, sometimes if we have a lot of uphill, my calves start to hurt, but that don't really last long since I've gotten my hiker legs. They're basically just a machine at this point. So yeah, and obstacles as far as down trees. Sometimes you'll have 2 or 3 trees right on top of each other across the trail, so you got to climb up over them or go in between them or go under them. Some people go up around them to make a new trail because the trail maintenance hasn't been able to get out and take care of us. So yeah, there's all the kind of the physical type challenges. Sometimes if you get shin splints or twist an ankle or something, that's going to hold you up a little while. But you just take care and you want to be careful but also have fun. Looks like we got this little catwalk across here. It's swampy in here, so we got this. Looks like they've pinned down some old timbers. But yeah, always care for your body. They say, listen to your body. I don't know exactly what that means. Everyone takes that a little bit different. Because if my body is sore or starting to hurt a little bit, I'm not stopping just because of that. I'm going to keep rolling. I'm going to push forward, especially if I'm trying to push some miles. Nice little creek. I wonder if there's fish in here. I bet there is. Looks like we have some trail magic. Trail magic. Let's see if there's anything in there. It does not look like it. There is something in there, but not sure what it is. Let's go ahead and take a look-see. It's a bar of soap. So does that mean that we can take that bar of soap and wash ourselves up in that water? No. We can't be doing that. Especially that kind of soap. I'm not sure why. I mean, thank you for whoever did that, but palm olive, that soap is probably not good for putting on the ground. Probably not earth friendly, but it's all good. Here's a picture of that. Here's another view of that barn. I don't know, I just like old barns. Especially that one. That would be so, I'd like to have that. A farmhouse. Anyhow, so yeah, some of the challenge, like I'm talking about, is listening to your body. So you kind of have that challenge there a little bit about listening to your body and knowing when it's okay to push forward and if you're pushing for more miles. If it's just soreness, in my opinion, the muscle or like my heels, at about mile 9, 10, my heels are just sore. They're hurting. But I've still got 10 more miles in me, or more as needed. And campsites. That also determines whether we stay somewhere, whether there's a stealth campsite or shelter, but we try to stay away from shelters. So that can pose a problem, a challenge as well, and where you stay for the night. If you really want to put on 20 plus miles, you kind of need to see where you're at, where you're going. Most of the time people will ask, well, where are you headed to tonight? Most of the time it's the answer is wherever 6 or 7 o'clock puts us. So another challenge is highways. Roads. Yeah, see, there's quite a few homes in here, it looks like. And it looks like there's another farmhouse right there. So yeah, making sure you have a place to go camp, you know, managing that can be a little bit of a challenge unless you're one of those people that want to hit the shelters and stay at shelters all the time. Then that's quite a bit easier to manage. But I can see that if you're shooting for a shelter and say it's, you know, 14 miles away, let me try to hold you up here, 14 miles away, and it starts raining really, really hard, then you got to make some decisions. And,